Okay, we're going to fill that 6-pound barrel with some petrified wood. It's really, see the wood grain in that. Really interesting. Lots of different colors, and this is dry. Okay, let's squirt it down. Ooh, we get some nice colors on this petrified wood. And it's a Mohs hardness of between 7 and 8. So I'm going to start this with no ceramic media and run it with 4670 silicone carbide super heavy coarse grit. And we will see this next week, and we will see how much this rounds off. I wish I had more red pieces, but this is pretty awesome. That's going to be pretty gnarly. I wonder how much of that's going to come off. Interesting. Really cool. Alright, petrified wood. We will see it next week. Yay! Love it when we start something new. And we're starting with our petrified wood. We're going to see what this slurry looks like after 1 week. Not bad, not too sticky. There's a few chips in here. Not bad. Let's see how much grit is left after 1 week. This is the 6-pound barrel. Nope, I think we hit it good. This barrel needs to be cleaned right off. Pretty clear. Just a lot of microfine chips went through our mesh. All right, let's turn that off and clean the barrels. And we're here with our petrified wood. It has been running in 4670 heavy silicone carbide grit for 1 week. And we did run a little bit of ceramics with it to fill the barrel because we didn't have quite enough petrified wood to fill our 6-pound barrel. But after 1 week, you can see it still has a lot of shaping to go. But boy, the colors are really popping now. There's a lot of these edges I'd like rounded more. There's some valleys and whatnot. Now we did run this with a little bit of ceramic media, which I normally don't do in the first week, first couple of weeks, because we want more shaping to happen, but I needed the space in the barrel filled so that we'd be running an efficient barrel at 2/3. But there was a lot of chipping happening. These are just like a couple. But we had a whole lot, which is expected the first week or two. There's a lot left still in the barrel I need to clean out. But it's really, I mean, this is all wet because we just rinsed out the barrel. We ran this 6-pound barrel with 6 tablespoons of the 4670 silicone carbide. And 1 tablespoon of baking soda to help with the organic matter that was on the rough so that we wouldn't have to burp the barrels. And none of the barrels needed burping this week, so yay, it worked. Yeah, see, there's a lot of valleys, some pits. A lot needs to be done. See all these lines in here and all that sparkle? That's grit trapped in there. And if we were going to a different stage grit, we'd get in there with a toothbrush and clean them all out, or a fingernail brush or whatever you have handy. But because it's going back into 4670, I don't really have to be all that particular with it. Yeah. Pretty happy so far. Probably have to add a little bit more ceramic media, just because we had some volume loss. Really pretty. A lot of variety in this petrified wood here. Lots of different colors. I'm not going to go through this whole barrel on camera, but what I'm looking for at this stage, after the first week of running rough, is I'm looking for stones that are just never going to tumble out. You know, things that are just really super pitted, super deep holes, stones that need to be cracked in half, you know, because they're too big, or like, see, this has got a lot going on. Where you can see that would be an awful lot that would have to be ground off in order to be smooth. So this could be a potential problem child stone, meaning it's never going to do what we want. I am going to leave it in the barrel in this 4670 super hard or super coarse grit to help with volume. But this is not ever, even though the colors are gorgeous and I really, really love it, it's never going to tumble out to be the way that we want it. You know, nice and smooth. Like say this one will turn out to be nice and smooth. And it's practically there now. Yes, and we have some little tiny pieces break off. But it's a pebble size. But we'll leave it in there to help with the grind. Oh, I'm excited to run petrified wood. See, that's a potential issue. But we'll see. See a little chippage right there. I have a project that I'm using these little chips for, making little gem bottles. So I do take them out, there's media, and set them aside. I don't let them grind in the barrel because I'm using them for another project. Otherwise, they're just going to eventually grind down to dust. Some will say it helps make a thicker slurry. And I'm sure it does, but I have a purpose for them. Alright, I'm going to go through the rest of this off camera, make sure I get all the chips out of the barrel. I'm going to recharge it with 4670 for a second week. And then what? I lost my train of thought. I'm going to recharge this barrel with 4670, 6 tablespoons of it. I will not put baking soda in the mix this time because the organic material's been ground off and I really doubt I'm going to have to burp a barrel at this stage. And I am going to add like 3 tablespoons of borax as an experiment to see if that thickens the slurry. And we'll find out next week if it helps. I ran an experiment with the borax on the 3-pound barrels, and I saw 0 help with thickening, but the barrels were super easy to clean after that. So that in itself is a good reason to add it. But we wanted an experiment to see what helps thicken the slurry. So I am going to add less water to this grind than I normally do. And I'll see if that and the borax help. Yeah, see, I'm getting little chips. Alright, I'm going to finish this off camera. Sweet. And we'll be on to our next barrel. Okay, this is petrified wood, and we're going to see how much unused grit happened after a 7-day cycle. This is 4670 grit, so it was 6 tablespoons in a 6-pound barrel. As you can see, there's a lot of stickiness in the barrel. This is without borax. Next week we'll run it with borax in the cycle to see if the cleanup is easier. So you can see it's mostly just rock dust and slurry. This graininess right here is the 4670 grit. So there was very little, I think we had the correct amount of grit for a 7-day cycle. very little left over. A couple petrified wood chips going to go down the drain. Petrified wood has been running in 4670 coarse or super coarse silicone carbide for 2 weeks. Last week we did add ceramic media to the mix. I normally would not do that, but we needed the volume for our 6-pound barrel. This is going to have to be moved down. There's just not enough left to keep running in our 6-pound barrel. So we might be having to move some things around this week. So let's see how we're doing. There's a little extra slurry left on some of this. Try to dry that off a little bit. It's shaping, a lot of the sharpness is coming off. Get that slurry off. But it still needs a lot of work. You can see that there's still blemishes and imperfections in the stone. All of this back here I would like to have worked off, but I think we can move to 60-90. So for me, I'm kind of renaming the stages a little bit. When I use a 4670 super coarse to try and jumpstart the shaping on really hard stones, I'm calling that pre-stage 1. I don't want to confuse people out there just learning to rock tumble when I say stage 1 and I'm using a different grit than everyone else. So I'm going to call it a pre-stage 1. Ooh, nice seam on that. So we'll continue stage 1 being 60-90 coarse grit, which most of the community is used to hearing. So this is in pre-stage 1. That needs a lot of work to get that seam. But petrified wood is really, really nifty. Look at the shape on this piece. That's really cool. I have yet to find a favorite piece on this petrified wood. I mean, it's only been 2 weeks, but usually by now I've got a favorite piece. One that we can follow all the way through. This looks like it could probably be cracked. Just split the stone. It's not a very large stone and cracking, but I think in order to be able to work with it, we're going to have to crack it. Set that one aside. Whew. There's a lot of work that still needs to be done. There were some chips in the barrel, which we expect at this stage. Look at that one. You can see the wood grain. Wondering if this petrified wood seems to have a lot of blemishes in this rough. Yeah, there's just a lot of work. I'm going to leave it in 4670 for another week. Leave it in pre-stage 1. trying to keep these damp. I believe that's quartz. Yep, that's quartz. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't slurry. It's a lot to inspect here. And I'm going to do it off camera, so the videos are shorter. But I did want to show off some of these pretty pieces. Wow. There's just so much shaping that needs to happen. And I know that 6090 will do some of it, most of it. But there's a lot of different issues. There's fracture lines, there's a few pits, there's valleys. So I want all this stuff worked out. And I mean, this could take months in 6090, and that's why I'm opting for the 4670, because it's coarser and it will take more off faster. But then I sort of defeated the purpose by putting ceramic media in the batch. So I think I will run this without ceramic media, but if I can get a smaller barrel. Because the ceramic media cushions the stone and it slows down the shaping process. But sometimes it's just a necessary evil because you don't have the correct barrel size available. Stuff is really, really pretty. I'm hard pressed to pick a favorite at this juncture. It's a neat little shape. This one's coming along quite nicely. Ooh. We may just have to resign ourselves to a lot of these little, like right in here. It's not a grit catcher. I mean, there's that one. Huh. Okay, I'm going to finish inspecting these, and we'll be back with an update in just a moment. Okay, I am really hard pressed to pick a favorite, but I like this one. You can see the wood grain. It's rounded really nicely. Doesn't really seem to have a whole lot of issues. I mean, it does need work right here in this little seam right there. But it's mostly really, really good shape. I think this one is kind of funny. It kind of looks like a gun. But it's going to require a lot of work. And I'm curious to see if it'll continue to keep this shape as it tumbles. So I hope that these two will be able to keep track of as we go through. Okay. Petrified wood is going back into 4670 for another week. Some of these pieces look like they're going to be real problems, but And then here's some chippage. They're just kind of like little tiny pebble size. We're going to put these in the Zen garden. Okay. Petrified wood. After 2 weeks is going to need more. See, this one, I think this is going to be a garden stone. We're never going to get those pits out of there. See how deep those are? They're just going to be grit catchers, and it's just going to be bad. So we're going to garden stone it right now. A few of these could actually go to be garden stones. This is really agatized or quartzized or whatever it is that happens to petrified wood. Whoop. Yeah, this is going to be a problem. It's got some neat stuff in it, but I'm going to put that in the garden. Wonder if that came off of there. It kind of matches a little bit. Interesting. I'm going to leave that in even though it's tiny. Okay. Alright, petrified wood is going, it's going to recharge the barrel for for $46.70 silicone carbide grit. Okay, be right back. Petrified wood has been in 4670 pre-stage 1 silicone carbide heavy coarse grit. That is a huge mouthful for 3 weeks. And it does have ceramic media that's been in the barrel because we need it. It's been in our 6-pound barrel and we had a lot of volume loss. And so we had to fill up the volume. And I'm afraid that the ceramic media is adding too much cushioning, even though we didn't add a whole lot of it, because we're not seeing the shaping that we want. There has been quite a bit, and there is a lot of mass reduction, but yeah, I think we're done with the 4670 and going to move on to the 6090, the regular stage 1. And I'm hoping that we're going to have stuff that we can move forward shortly. This feels really smooth to the touch. We did an experiment adding borax to the mix, and it made the cleanup super, super easy, where you didn't have to do any scrubbing. You really just had to rinse it and you were done, which was awesome. It also, because of the amount of borax that we put into the barrel, it made a really nice thick slurry, which helped in a couple of different ways. We have hard water here, and the borax helps with the alkaline. It's something about conditioning that water. And then the grit, because it was a thicker slurry, was able to get around on the stones better and be more efficient. And we didn't have any real grit left over after our 7-day cycle. So, yay. Okay. Now, back to petrified wood. You see it still needs a lot of work. But it's like, this is really smooth. But it has these little pits, fractures, wood grain textures. There's our little piece of, it looked like a gun. Looks like it had something break out of it. It looks fresh. right here. These pieces did get a bit smaller. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time on the petrified wood today. We're just going to move it ahead to 60/90. Yeah. Gosh, you know, I almost want to move this to 120 because it's feeling so smooth on the surface. I don't know. Do I want to skip 60/90? Oh, I gotta clean that out. That is leftover grit in that little hole there, and that needs to come out before it cements itself in. Gosh, we did lose a lot of mass. Okay, petrified wood is going to get a wash cycle, and then it's going to move to stage 1 60/90 silicone carbide grit, because again, it's been running for 3 weeks in the 4670. Okay, we will see this next week. Petrified wood. This stuff's awesome. That looks so pretty. I'm just sitting there all wet. Alright, let's take a look. What can move forward to 120 because I'm sick of this sitting in stage 1. But like agates, petrified wood does tend to take a little bit longer. Stage 1. Oh, that's optical. That moves forward. Needs more work. Kind of moving a little quick here. It's received all the shaping that I would desire. I think that it looks really neat. But it does have some pitting that I would like worked on. That one's looking pretty good. A little bit more. I think because of the divots and whatnot, it's just taking a little bit longer to process through. I think I'd like that worked on. It's like if you can feel it, there's no point in moving, looking at the rest of the stone. Goodness. Now we did have an awful lot of cushioning in the barrel. move forward. But we had combined it with a couple of other stones. To fill the barrel. Because, I think that can move forward. Oh, here's our little gun-shaped piece. Still needs more work. Now, last week, right in here was super sharp because it was a fresh break. And now we can see how it's smoothing over. Just a little bit more work and that one will be ready. All right, we'll be right back. All right. We had to let this dry a little bit to see if it'd be any easier. To inspect. My goodness, long pauses between words today. Getting really sidetracked. All right. It feels really good in the hand. There is some like this line right here, but I'm gonna let that move forward. Okay. How much more of this can move forward? I don't think 120 is going to really help that. Let's give it one more week. Yeah, it's just, there's like seams that I just want smoothed out. And I don't know if they ever will, actually. And I can go forward. It's just really interesting how most of the stone will be fine, and then you'll have one part that just desperately cries out for more work. Goodness. Okay, I'm going to continue this inspection off camera, and we will be back with our next barrel. We're just going to continue splitting this down until we get enough to run it in 120. We're back with our petrified wood, which has been in stage 1, 60-90 coarse silicone carbide grit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks. So it's been a pretty long time. We keep reducing the quantity down by, breaking off what needs to go into 120 and setting it aside. This is, of course, still wet from the rinse cycle. Some of these pieces are still going to require a little bit more time, but I think we can move quite a bit forward to medium. Wow, it's pretty cool. Oh, it didn't break. Yay, we still have our funny shaped piece of petrified wood here. It did smooth out quite a bit on the underside. I'm pretty happy about that. We are not going to get rid of all the fracture marks. They're just too deep. Wow. It's really coming along nicely. So like this is just never going to come out. We're not going to be able to grind away enough to get that without sacrificing mass of the stone. So some of these pieces are just going to be imperfect. But the way this stuff feels on the rest of the surfaces is really amazing. It's almost silky smooth. You know, and then you come across these. And I think we're going to have to live with it. It's been so many weeks already. We have lost quite a bit of mass. There's not a whole lot left, but they're still decent sizes. So I think we are going to just do a wash cycle and move everything forward. There might be one or two pieces that we hold back. Like this is going to become a garden stone. It just has too many valleys on all the surfaces for it to ever be a good tumbled stone. So this one, as pretty as it is going to go into the garden. Really pretty. This spot is never going to grind out. And it's not going to polish either. The rest of the stone will. Yeah. Not as perfect as I would like. They're really interesting. All right, there's a gouge out of this one. It's not a broken piece. It's just from, you know, when we started, it's still like that, and it just hasn't smoothed out. So we're just going to have to let it be. I'm starting to dry on us here. Yeah. Well. Okay. I think the petrified wood is going to go into a wash cycle. And then we're going to put it into medium. We have an awful lot going into medium this week. And I think after we get these medium runs done, it'll be time to open up that vibratory tumbler and start using that for the pre-polishes and just move these cycles along. Cut some time down. Wow. That's a pretty piece. I like the green in it. Interesting patterns. Okay, we are done with petrified wood and we are going to move it forward. And then the last stone that we have to look at today, it's also been in 6090. Wow, pretty cool. Okay, these are going to get moved forward. We will be right back. Petrified wood has been running 1 week in stage 2, 120, 220 silicone carbide grit. Well, let's take a look and see how it's progressing. Looks okay so far. Feels nice. Feels much better than that snakeskin Jasper did, even though they ran in the same barrel. I rarely want to run things a second week in 120. And I'm just not sure. I mean, I think this is probably fine. Given the status of this from the vendor, I mean, it was pretty, not pitted, but very fractured. So it you know, and being that it's a petrified wood, I mean, there's no grit being caught, but it's just not as smooth as I would like if it was a jasper or, you know, something like that, or an agate. It's just has a lot of things like this. These little valleys, these little, I don't know. It's just stuff that is never going to grind out. And I don't like to pitch a whole batch. I mean, I did do that with that sea jasper that one time, but I don't know, I've seen petrified wood that was much better than this batch that I had. I think this is feeling good enough probably to move to 500. So this is going to get wash cycles. I think the surface on this is, you know, going to be good enough. Yeah. Not the best batch of petrified wood. Not the best batch. That sound of disappointment in my voice is trying to reconcile myself with the fact that you don't always get, no matter how hard you work, the results you want. I mean, other than those weird fractures and pits. Oh. It feels good. Feels really good. I'm not used to feeling in stage 2 all these weird, boy, that's smooth. All these weird pits, because we usually grind them all out, but it's just not possible in some of these. I mean, some are just really perfectly lovely, and then you get gnarly stuff like this, which, while every surface you can touch feels really good, there's still these deep crevices. I don't know. It is what it is. Alright, petrified wood's going to get wash cycles and move on to 500 aluminum oxide. Alright, we are done with that. We've got 2 more barrels to get through. Be right back. Okay, we are back with our vibratory tumbler, our Mini Sonic MT14. This is its maiden voyage. We have been running our petrified wood, which was ready for the 500 aluminum oxide pre-polish, or stage 3. And we put it in 2 days ago, and we are going to take a look at it and see how it's running. You can hear the rotary tumblers in the background, and in comparison, this is super, super quiet. Let's get a good look in there. Now this is at a medium speed. It is an adjustable speed unit. We're getting lovely action in here. So let's turn it off. And let's pull out a piece. And let's clean it off. Let's see what it looks like after 2 days in the vibratory tumbler. It's feeling really nice. Got a nice matte finish on it. Feels really, really good. Obviously, we don't want to let it dry for too long because we don't want that grit in there. But I think this is definitely ready for to get totally cleaned off and move to 1000. So 2 days on medium speed worked beautifully. All right, we're going to go clean this unit and we'll be right back. And we're back with our petrified wood. We have rinsed it really well. It has spent 2 days in the vibratory tumbler running 500 aluminum oxide pre-polish, and we just want to keep it wet. Take a look at it and see if it's ready to move to 1000 pre-polish, and it looks like it is. Oh, I thought that was stuck slurry, but it's really just cream coloring that's in the stone. Ooh, it's feeling good. I'm happy with this. So what we're going to do is take this lovely stuff and move it to 1000 in the vibratory tumbler, and we'll let it run for 2 days. Oh, there's our little piece that we keep looking at. It really did smooth out inside there. I mean, obviously we still have the pits and the valleys and whatnot that we were dealing with before, but it is petrified wood, so it's not going to be like regular stone. All right, this is just a quick update. Real happy with it. It's looking really, really good. All we had put in here was borax in the 500 AO, and what we're going to do is move this to our 1000 bin, our 1000 aluminum oxide pre-polished bin, put in 1000 ceramics. This is our 500 ceramics, so we'll keep it separate. Yeah, pretty quick update. I'm pretty happy with this. It looks like in 2 days, we'll be ready to go to polish with any luck at all. So again, I want to keep these damp. Don't want them to dry out. We want to get our next bin and load it. And then in the current 500 bin that's now open, let's put our salmon moonstone from a couple days ago. It's just been waiting for the 500 vibratory. So this is an interesting experiment. It's going to be fun. All right, I'll be right back. in here is our petrified wood, and we want to turn it on. We're going to add our tablespoon of borax. And then I want to put in a tablespoon of our 1,000 our 1,000 aluminum oxide. I want to turn this action down. Kind of like letting the vibrator move it out of the spoon. Okay, let's close that up. Let's see if we can get a better look at the petrified wood. You can see it's already starting to get a nice thick slurry on it. And it's a mold's hardness of 7, so it can take a little bit of a faster action. But again, I really don't want to beat it up, so I'm going to slow it down just a little. Yeah. Alright. Let's put the lid on it. We'll check on it in a couple of hours to see if it needs more water. And if not, if it does, we'll just add a couple squirts from a spray bottle. And otherwise, we'll check both these barrels in 2 days, and they should be ready to move forward. So the salmon moonstone should be able to move to 1,000, and the 1,000 petrified wood should be able to move to the polish barrel that I'm holding over here. All right, fantastic. As you can see, once these are closed up and you turn the action down off of high, it is really super quiet. I'm going to take this off the stand here. And we're back with our petrified wood that has been running for 2 days in our 1,000 aluminum oxide pre-polish. Let's just take a few out here and see how it's doing. We're already getting a bit of a matte shine. And the surface is looking really, really super smooth. There is still a lot of polish left in here. So we don't want to let them dry out too much here. Oh my goodness. There. Oh goodness, let's keep that wet. Oh, it's definitely ready to move forward. Super, super lovely thin, surface on these. This petrified wood here. It's definitely ready to move forward. Oh, look at that. There's that piece we keep following. Normally we wouldn't have let these move forward with those grit catchers, but with this petrified wood, didn't look like we were really going to get what we wanted with the smoothness. Absolutely ready for a couple of wash cycles and to move forward to polish. Fantastic. All right, let's get these babies rolling. We'll see him in a couple of days. Little short updates here. Oh, I'm excited. This is looking good. Okay. We will see these in 2 days. All right, Petrified Wood has been running for 3 days in aluminum oxide polish. Not crazy about it. I did have a little too much borax in the barrel, which caused it to slow down, and I had to keep adding water to it. But we're trying to, get our processes down. I'm not real crazy about this milky finish on here. And we're going to burnish it and get all the residue off. And then we're going to run it for another day or two until I get the results I like. Yeah, that's just not acceptable. I mean, it's got a good matte finish on it. Just trying to... Not happy. Let's see the water still on there. Yep, we are going to repolish this. I'm going to do a burnish cycle, recharge the barrel for polish, and figure out what we did wrong. I mean, gosh. Bummer, I was hoping to have a success, but nobody ever gets a success first time out of the gate. And I've seen a mirror finish on petrified wood before, so I know it's obtainable. Oh gosh. Oh, I thought that was slurry. That's actual in the stone. It's not slurry. Well, that'll fake you out. Okay. Goodness, cleaning these outside. We got little stems in there. It's pretty windy. Let's see. Pine needles were dropping. Yeah, just not crazy about this. And this happens. I mean, you see there's a beautiful matte shine. The surface is okay. But we're just, and it could just be, residue milky. That's why I want to do a burnish cycle before I make a final judgment. So we'll check back with this in a couple hours after a good burnish and make a decision. Okay, we'll use less borax in the next cycle. So it won't be quite as thick. I mean, it was like toothpaste thick. Just not getting the shine I want. All right. Petrified wood is going to go in a burnish cycle, and more than likely it's going to go back in another polish round. Okay, we are back with our petrified wood. It has spent another 2 days in the vibratory tumbler in polish, and it's been through a wash cycle with Dawn dish soap and for a half hour, and then a 1 hour burnish with just borax. And now we're pulling the pieces out and we're taking a look, and this piece is completely dry. And you can see we do have a polish. It's just not that really beautiful, glossy, high mirror shine we're used to. I mean, you've got it on these edges, but then the flatter surfaces are more of a matte sheen. So I'm not happy. So after 5 total days, we ran it for 3 days, then we cleaned the barrel, looked at it, wasn't happy, ran it for another 2 days in polish, and did the burnish and everything, and I'm not happy still. I'm happier, but I don't think we are getting the polish that we had expected. So far, the vibratory tumbler is not doing what I wanted it to do. This one's a lot shinier in spots. Compared to the rotary tumbler, I've always been really happy with those results. So I'm torn between just putting this in a rotary, letting it run for 7 days and be done with it, or do I just want to continue this experiment with the vibratory ultrasonic tumbler and run it for an additional 2 days and check it again? And I think that's what I'm going to do. Because, I mean, it's taking a shine. It's just not to the level we want it yet. So I'm going to put these back in the barrel. Got the hopper here. We'll put this back on the vibratory tumbler and add 1 tablespoon of borax, and we will add some polish, and then we will check it in 2 days and see if it's given us the result we want yet. All right, this is it for this week. Hope everybody stays safe and happy, and we will see you next time. Let's take a look at the petrified wood, which is running in polish. And we're going to see, I'm just going to pull out a piece here. I'm going to clean it off camera. And we'll be right back and take a look at it. All right. It's completely dried off. So all told, so we ran this for 2 days, then 3 days, and then another 3 days. So it would have been just as fast to run this in the rotary tumbler, because I haven't been real happy with the shine we've been getting. But I think we're finally there. It was shining nicely on the edges, but not on the flat surfaces. And now I think our flat surfaces are nice and shiny. All right, let's give this a rinse cycle, just like we're doing our tiger's eye. And then we'll give it a burnish after the rinse and take a good look at it again. All right. Let's just put a little soap in there. Add some water. Get it good and sudsy. All right, we are back with petrified wood. It has been running in aluminum oxide polish for a week. We've been checking it every couple of days. And at first we were not happy with the shine that we were getting. It was only shining on the edges, not on the flat surfaces in the center. And so we put it in for a few more days and then checked it, and then a few more days, and then now we've washed it. It's gone through a wash cycle. And let's check the surface shine here. It will need a burnish to get off all the soap residue and the polish residue. But I think we finally achieved the polish we wanted. See, it looks super shiny right here and then a little more flat here. And I'm really curious if I just put these in a rotary barrel and ran them for a week and polished to see if it got any better. This stone looks much better. Just waiting for it to dry a little bit more. I don't know. For the petrified wood, it's just a meh. I'm not all that blown away. Again, it is going to have to go through a burnish cycle. And in the vibratory tumbler, that's just borax and water for an hour, maybe 2. And then we'll rinse it with regular tap water, dry it off, and see what it looks like. I'm still just after, 7 days in a vibratory tumbler polishing, I'm not impressed. I mean, it's just okay. Oh, kind of waiting for it to dry a little. See, I mean, it's just not, it's really satin shiny, but not mirror shiny. I'm done with the vibratory for polishing petrified wood. I'm not happy with it. I'm going to put these in the rotary tumbler and see if I get a better result. We'll see it in a week. All right, we're back again with the petrified wood. So what I've decided to do is I took out 2 pieces that I felt were, one of the better of the vibratory polished. And we're going to hold these for comparison. And I took the rest of the petrified wood and I put it in the rotary barrel with 1 tablespoon of borax and 1 tablespoon of AO polish. And now we're going to button this up, and there's water in here just to the bottom of the top layer of rocks. Button it up. And we're going to put it on the rotary tumbler, and we'll see it in a week. Hopefully, I'll have that brilliant mirror shine I'm looking for. All right. We'll see how this experiment goes. Back with our petrified wood. It has been on quite the journey. After it had spent 8 days in the vibratory tumbler polish stage, I was not happy with the results. Here they were. Right here is our 2 control pieces. All right, you see the shine on this. I was not happy. I thought we could do better. So I put the rest of them back into the vibratory, or back into the rotary tumbler. And I ran that for 11 days because I forgot about it. And now they've just been rinsed off and they're dry now. And I want to take a look at the shine. And this is the mirror-like shine I knew they could get, but it took a long time getting there. So let's compare 8 days in the vibratory, an additional 11 days in the rotary tumbler, and let's see the difference. I mean, they both have a really good shine. So I really don't think that the extra time made that much of a difference. Let's see if we can get a good focus. No. You tell me which is shinier. The right-hand side is the vibratory, and the left-hand side is the rotary. Okay, so we are finally finished with our petrified wood. It's beautiful. I'm really, really happy. Look at that shine. Wow. That's gorgeous. All right, where's that one little piece we've been following all? Here it is. Look at how shiny this one got. There we go. We're finally finished with our petrified wood. I think next time I'm going to be more careful with the rough. I'm not going to buy it online. I'm going to buy it in person because this was pretty damaged rough. A lot of cracks and crevices and valleys, pits, things that were not going to tumble out ever, like this. And while it does make for a really interesting stone, I like my stuff smoother. This one I always thought had slurry stuck in it. It's just the white wood. Did polish well. Look at that. See, things like this I would have normally tumbled out, but it would have taken months and there'd be no stone left. Absolutely beautiful. Okay. All right, we're going to go clean out the rest of our rotary tumblers on this frigid November day. And we will be back to inspect the barrels. So pretty. definitely do petrified wood again. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Green piece. Wow, that's a nice big one. Chase that shine. That's pretty.